High school is even worse than middle school.
To have a happy and successful life, you go to college.
I heard from UPenn this morning, and I didn't get it.
I can't believe I didn't get into state. We are lost.
Stand up to me.
From the not sleeping, the jumpiness, the constant, overwhelming, crushing fear that something terrible is about to happen.
Now I'm both happy and sad, and I'm still trying to figure out how that could be.
It's like it's a panic attack.
Just try and slow your breathing.
You know, like I can't even breathe.
Guys, look at me. Look at me.
I am tormented every day at school.
There's a few things that I won't tolerate.
Really? Like what?
Like messing up your life.
When you're young, everything feels like the end of the world. It's not. It's just the beginning.
Oh my God, yes.
Yes.
I don't have a workload. I have 3 courses this semester.
This semester, I definitely have a really full workload.
A lot of people consider it heavy. I don't know, I just balance it all and get her done for the most part.
My heavy workload. Well, that mixed with the fact that I also play sports and I have a job.
Chemistry and biology.
Learning experience is mostly work.
Trying to find time to manage schoolwork, extracurriculars, volunteering, and now planning for university, post-secondary is it's like, when am I going to do it? What do I want to do? It's crazy.
Probably extracurriculars more than school. School is just like, kind of just show up, do my homework, end of story. But extracurriculars, like, there's a lot of stuff kind of behind the scenes, like agendas and meetings and stuff like that for different things. So it's probably where I get a lot of my stress.
Sometimes I just like to be alone and I like to handle all my work and all the stress by myself.
If I'm in a public place, I just try to calm myself down, but if I'm at home, I grind.
Try to stay away from the problem or just try and not commit a problem.
I'm not gonna lie, I don't really have a method on how to deal with my stress. It's sort of just like to remove myself from the situation for a time being, make a list of what I have to do, and just kind of prioritize, okay, what needs to be done first, what can I push, hold back, or hold off for a little bit, and just work through a list like that.
Usually just get more work done because I'm just like, gotta get stuff done, so I just kind of sit down and just get right to it rather than like procrastinate and like leave everything last minute. So.
I'm not sure what would define anxiety. Like, I've been nervous for tests and stuff, but I've never had like a panic attack, or I've never been like so anxious that it affects me.
Yes.
I'm not experienced anxiety.
I've never really experienced like any sort of severe anxiety. I think the closest perhaps I've really come to actually experiencing anxiety was last year. I was social convener on council, which meant that I was in charge of doing all the dances, so prom and semi and all the junior dances. And it was around semi time that we had the strike at the school, so we had no teacher volunteers or any help, and council was a little bit of a mess just because we had no other help except for people that were on council. It was just a matter of trying to figure everything out, not only just council stuff, but I worked at the time, and then I also had school stuff going on. I'd be like, you're trying to prioritize, do I want to plan for the dance or do I want to study for my exams? And then I'd be getting like emails and phone calls from people I didn't even know asking about the dance and stuff like that. And that's, I'm pretty sure I almost died, but that was probably as close as anxiety as I ever got.
I don't really know if I have, I don't know, like obviously get nervous if like you're meeting someone important or like you have like a big test or something like that, but it kind of coincides within like the few minutes after, so.
Anxiety is one of those emotions that actually serves a purpose in life, believe it or not. Without anxiety, we wouldn't even really breathe because it's a stress reaction in our body that tells us to breathe. It sort of came to be when back in our caveman days, right, when we were being chased by the saber-toothed tiger, it was a stress reaction that told us to run and get out of there and hide. But what's happened over time, we still have that same reaction, but the saber-toothed tigers are gone, right? But our bodies don't know that. So it's often an overreaction to stimulus in our environment.
I don't know exactly what triggered my panic attacks, although I have a rough idea that it may have had something to do with being at a party, being surrounded by a lot of drunk people. I didn't like being in the space. I wanted to get away, and I just had a full-on panic attack. That was the first panic attack I'd ever had. It lasted from 11 p.m. at night until 5 a.m. in the morning in bursts. The thing with panic attacks is that they happen within 5 to 25 minutes. I think 25 minutes is literally the maximum amount of time that you can ever panic for, like full-on panic. And I was having bursts of panic all around the clock until 5 a.m. when I rang my dad and I made him come and get me. So the first thing that happens when you panic, you don't really ever know what you're panicking for. You don't always choose what makes you panic. Your sympathetic nervous system kicks in, so it's basically called the fight or flight. The best way of me describing this to you is your body sets itself up to either run away or to fight the problem. Over the last few months, I decided to take a completely different outlook on life. I just sat here one day and I was like, this is not what I want to be like. You can't let panic or anxiety change the way you do things. It is a mental illness, and nobody likes to use the word mental illness, but it is, and it's not something that people choose to have. Just do everything the way you want to do it at your own pace.
Well, I think that, you know, kids in high school in this day and age have to deal with so much, right? We talk about work-life balance. For students, especially in the upper grades, that could be, you know, work outside of school. You've got your schoolwork, you've got your home life. Relationships are huge. You've got changing relationships with your parents. You've got romantic relationships. You've got peer relationships, which, I mean, there's so much drama and there's so much that goes on with your peers. I think that it's really normal to feel overwhelmed. My biggest suggestion is to sometimes just stop, just take a break. Really look at those things that you like to do, whether it's sports, reading, art, writing, and make sure that you take some time every single day. 20 minutes sometimes is all it needs, just to do those things that you like, and it gives your brain a chance to just relax. It's probably my biggest suggestion.